Imagine how the vibe of your home would be if we were to exchange a kind word on the breakfast table each morning. Imagine how your day at work would be if someone told you or did something kind for you at work before you began your week. It's no news that everyone is just running in today's fast paced life as if there's no tomorrow. And if someone showed a little bit of courtesy or kindness, you'd either be surprised if they were for real, or you'd simply admire them for that moment and think that the world still has a few kind people. Unless we experience being on that receiving end, we often forget the power we have to help others feel and remember why it's wonderful being who they are. One kind word a day is all it takes. For instance, if your mom or your wife is a homemaker, just before rushing to work, tell her in 5 seconds, "Thank you for handling me and the house. I would be so lost without you." When leaving your office, stopping by the receptionist or security guard on any random day and telling them, "Thank you for watching out for us today." Or when entering a lift, instead of being on your phone mindlessly scrolling, look up and exchange a smile with someone standing next to you. That's all it takes. Kindness doesn't really need words all the time. We forget the power of kind words and what it can have on other people. I'll share an example that I experienced. So, one day after work, I was entering my apartment building, and just as I was approaching the lift, this young lady who works in the post room collecting packages for all the residents, she quickly walked towards the lift before me, and as the door opened, she asked me 27, right? And then she pressed the floor button, smiled at me, and walked back to her desk. I was just so taken aback because despite of dealing with close to 500 residents regularly, firstly she remembered my floor, and then she went on to show her kindness by going to the lift, holding it for me with a smile when she didn't really have to do that. That just got me so pleasantly surprised that I was simply feeling plain happiness to think that there are people who offer kindness when you least expect it. As small as that may sound, it made those few moments and my evening filled with joy, and it got me inspired to pass that kindness to someone else. One more incident that took place a few months back. So I went to hand back a letter to my building receptionist that wasn't meant for me, it was meant for another apartment. And she looked quite preoccupied and frustrated. As soon as I approached her, she said, "Could you just give me a few moments here? I'm really trying to sort so many things out. Everything has just landed on me today, and I'm doing a double shift. I'm covering in for someone else without any break." So I told her, "No problem, take your time, no pressure." And I stood there for around 5 to 7 minutes. And once she was done sorting her stuff out, I simply handed the letter to her to let her know it was not meant for me. And realizing that all she had to do was to take that letter, which took 2 seconds, she said, "Thank you so much for your kindness because no one has been patient with me today. And you're the first one, as my shift is ending, that has been patient with me. And it's just been so tiring because I haven't slept for the day." And she went on to vent her frustration out. And at the end of it, she smiled and she told me to have a wonderful day. That just got me thinking that we often forget that others may be having a rough day. So, one kind word or a random act of kindness, although it may mean or cost absolutely nothing to us, it may mean a sigh of relief to someone in that moment. And when you see that on their face, you wouldn't really want to trade it for anything else because it gives you a different sense of satisfaction. It's like giving someone water when they're the most thirsty without knowing that they were indeed thirsty. In one of my other videos last year, I spoke about a random act of kindness that one lady, Sheila, showered on me back when I was in Ireland when I needed it the most. It's moments like those that stay with you and they inspire you to pay that kindness forward. I think we sometimes think of kindness as just being nice. But what I'm trying to say here is that a couple of kind words can be the reason you know you exist, the reason you know you matter. You have the power, we all have this power, to share a note, a couple of kind words, a few sentences. Help people see in themselves the spark that we see in them. Your thoughtful letter, your text letting them know that you're cheering for them on their big day. Your kind words can literally be the light in someone's dark day. Most importantly, kindness, when given, is always passed on. So if you took anything out of today's video, say one kind word or do one random act of kindness to someone, known or unknown, around you today and make their day. Hit the subscribe button to uplift yourself each week and others around you, at no cost. Until next time.